we gonna go now for the bomb ejector. It's gonna be a bit tricky with bomb ejector because bomb ejectors, first, the way the bombs are thrown is random. It will depends of your builds. So I can show you so many different types of splits because when you use a bomb ejector, you don't want all the bombs to land somewhere. One bomb will explode all the others, and you want to spread the bombs because I think it's like 6 or 8 bombs. So what you want to do with those 6 to 8 bombs is to spread them. So this is where you're gonna use the true potential of the bombs. You have many ways to split them. So I used to do at first like this, right? Like for example, splitting the bombs like this. So some bombs will go there, some bombs will go there, and some bombs will go there. Um, and after testing a lot, I realized that even if this kind of setup allows me to drive the bombs, depending on the consoles, because like the physics is kind of different depending on the consoles, I realized that I was losing a lot of bombs. What I tried then, when I realized that I was losing a lot of bombs, and I was like, all right, so if I'm putting two picks in front of the bombs, especially with the cow's bombs, it just like bounce everywhere. Sometimes they're gonna do their thing, sometimes they won't. It's like part of a bomb ejector. You cannot avoid this. But like how I can split the bombs without forcing them to split. And I was like, all right, so let's see the range, like the normal range of a bomb ejector. So a normal bomb ejector is 5 cubes, I think, I believe. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so I have this room to split the bombs. And then I was like, wait a minute. I can have Eagle Eye, right? That increase by one the range detection of a bomb, which means that it gives me more room to split my bombs. And the Eagle Eye is one of my favorite mod with the Chaos bombs. Is one of my favorite mod with the bomb ejector. When you build big, it allows you to have more room for your bombs, right? So, for example, here I've set up something what I'm calling a natural split. This bomb ejector has the Eagle Eye, and I put also the spring load because I tried different stuff and it was kind of working, but sometimes it was not. And I'll explain you why I use this mods in this specific setup. So as you can see here, I'm gonna actually mark the path so you will better understand. This bomb ejector is used against speedrunners and slow runners. Crazy thing about the bomb ejector is that you can use one bomb ejector for any type of raiders. So in yellow, this is the path, right? As you can see, my bomb ejector is really far. Why it's so far? Because I don't want the raider to instantly kill the bomb ejector. When you have a bomb ejector at 2 cubes from you, I can launch to it. Like I'm double melee, I can just launch to your bomb ejector. So imagine if someone that has a Vault Lancer, your bomb ejector will never have a chance to trigger. So if it's that far, it might drop 1 or 2 bombs, which could be enough. At least I can drop 1 or 2 bombs. Then, as you can see, there is a massive hole here. And as you can see, you have peaks and weird shape everywhere. You don't know what's going on. So I'm going to actually explain you what is all of this. So here I'm using what I'm calling a natural bomb split. I want my bomb ejector to reach different location where the raider can go. What I want is I want my bombs to explode in this area, but also in this area, and against speedrunners in this area, right? So obviously, I have to design first the setup because if you try to build a base and then you try your setups, might not work. So that's why I'm suggesting whenever you're building a base, put the setups that you want and then build around it. So I'm just letting the bombs going where they want, and it might work, it might not work, and it doesn't matter if you try to split them, if you try to drive them or not. It might not work, it might not work. So I was like, all right, so if it's the same result for both cases, I'm just gonna let do their work, right? Like, why bother forcing them to go somewhere if I know that at some point it will fail? Obviously, I drive them a bit, let them go where they want, so they can go here, right? So this is where the speedrunners will be. They can go here. So for example, I can put like a slope here. This one I can go like this because if I'm putting a slope here, I will lose a bomb. So I don't want to lose a bomb, right? We really, really don't want to lose a bomb. Like any bomb we lost is a bomb that won't kill the raider. So I want as many bombs as possible reaching the target. So this one will go there, um, or we can go like this, but we have a risk to lose a bomb here, but maybe also a bomb going this way. So it's really up to you how you want to drive your bombs. Here I have a slope to drive the bombs down and dropping the bombs here. I have another path here. So when the bomb's gonna go this way, as you can see, I'm opening a lot. I can also even open more by giving more room to the bombs. So I'm probably gonna have more chance to have bombs here. Here I'm blocking because I'm pretty sure to have bombs here. So I don't want to have too many bombs. So if the bombs are bouncing here, they can bounce back in this area, but they can also bounce in this kind of corner. So when bombs land here, they will get driven here, driven here, go through this slope, and land here. Some of them might bounce on this slope, have enough velocity to bounce here, bounce in this area, or even bounce there. It's really random. I also put something in the middle. So as you can see here, is I have a peak. So the peak allows you to split again your bombs. So I might have bombs here. I might have bombs here. It will never be the same result. This is what it makes the bomb ejector so deadly. It's like you never know when it's gonna hit. It will be always different. So when you put a pick like this, you will have like a 50% chance of here, 50% chance of here. As you can see, I'm dropping bomb here, which means that if the bomb I've at a velocity and bounce, it can bounce here, but it can also just roll, fall in this cursive cube next to the cursive cube. It can also land here just by rolling slowly. And on the other side, I mean, I already talked about this one, but I put a slope here and then another slope here. Also, this is a very important thing when you play with the bombs. It's always trying to use the slopes to give, or at least to keep the maximum velocity of your bombs. Because the moment your bombs hit something that is flat, they're gonna lose a lot of speed. It's very important that whenever you are using the bombs, use peaks, use slopes to drive them and avoid this flat ground. And also I have another slope here, right? Just in case, you know, this is a versatile raider, it will just go move forward a bit and I will catch him here. We can also be more vicious and go like this. It's just up to you, up to your creativity. It really depends how you want to build your base. But for example, here you can have also bombs that are just dropping here. So you can hit here, you can hit here, and you can hit here. Which means that you pretty much cover an entire room with just one bomb ejector. This is the power of a bomb ejector. When you place it well and you open around the bomb ejector, you can cover an entire room. And this is why the more you split your bombs, the better it will be, and you will optimize your room and create even more setup. You can create even more setups. You can have something more artistic if you want. If you're just looking for something artistic, it's really up to you. It's just like optimizing. Also, something that is important when you use the bomb ejector, and especially when you're using the chaos bombs. If you use the chaos bombs, avoid the tight corridor like this. Like this. Avoid this. Why? Because what's happening with the cow's bombs, it just like go like in pinball, like boom, 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 boom. And if it's not what you want the bombs. So with the cow's bombs, just to reach higher heights in your room, meaning that even if a raider is going on the ceiling, the bombs can get the raider. If your split is very tight, I wouldn't suggest to use the cow's bombs. The heavy bombs, they're kind of tricky because they don't have a lot of range. But if you, in case you don't know, you can combine the heavy bombs with cow's bombs. And if for those who never tried them, they have a weird shape and they have a weird physique too. There you go. It's kind of weird. This is a setup that I'm going to show you its potential. I'm not saying that it's gonna work right now immediately because again, the throws are random. So sometimes it will do miracles. Sometimes you will be unlucky with your throws. So it really depends. It's kind of a magic of a bomb ejector. But all right, let's go. And I'm a speedrunner, right? So a bombs land here. So I'm happy about it. But here it didn't work. So we'll have to find out why. I do. I think I know why. I think I know why. So we got killed here. We had a bomb here, a bomb here, and did we lost a bomb somewhere? Yes, we lost one here. So as you can see, it's around the flat ground. So flat grounds not good with the bombs. Good thing though is like our cubes disappeared, which means that our bombs. Yeah, we had a bombs here, and see two bombs here. And the cube disappeared here, so we had a bomb around here. Something also, I would say, you don't need to use the corrosive cubes to hide your bomb ejector. You can use hollow cubes; they're cheaper. It's risky, obviously, but it's cheaper. So, for example, if like there's a raider like this, right? Um, and a raider see hollow cubes like with perfect picture, usually the raiders won't shoot it. Why they won't shoot it is because it's not a direct danger for them. They're like, okay, there is no traps that can kill me here. So instead of putting a corrosive cube that is calling for a bomb ejector, because when you see opaque cubes on the ceiling, you're like, okay, a bomb ejector is coming somewhere. So you have to outsmart your opponent and by saying no, just bedrock or all around, buddy. No worries. It's just like weird shape all around. Do not hesitate to use bedrock. Obviously, if you're using bedrock, you will have to build in the bedrock, but don't hesitate to use the bedrock because it's not just only hiding traps. It's about hiding stuff that people wouldn't expect. Like there's no way in the world that you would say, "Oh, there's a bomb ejector." You talk about the trap modifications, but I'm new and I don't have all the stuff unlocked. The bomb? What's the best bomb ejector modifier to buy first? Um, so Gendred, it really depends of your setups. I would suggest if you go for the bomb ejector, I would suggest Eagle Eye, especially like if you want to build crazy stuff like this, and if you want to bomb ejector to be really far from the raider, Eagle Eye, or I would say house bombs, and spring load. If you don't want, like, if you are not used to this yet, if you are still new, I would go for cows bombs and spring load and then eagle eye. We're gonna try again the bomb ejector, but this time I will go back. And also, why I put this corrosive cube here, it's because I want to apply some pressure and like remove some room for the raider to be safe. So I'm gonna go there, right? Oh no, bomb ejector. See, I was close. So here it shows me that my setup is good, but my path isn't. I have to do something on my path here. So what should I do? My setup is working, so maybe I should like remove something. Maybe, you know what? Maybe this is not my setup that is bad. This is just the mod. So what if I'm going for instead of spring load, I'm going for Chaos Bombs. Let's see, because Chaos Bombs usually go further away from the normal bombs, even with spring load. But as you can see here, it doesn't work well. So it means we're gonna try another time. But it means that my setup is not suited for uh, the Chaos Bombs. Yep. So Chaos Bombs doesn't work. So I have to go back to spring load. And now, what should I do to have my bombs being able to kill the raider here or here? What we can do, for example, pretty much like this, yeah. What we can do also is just putting corrosive cube here, so we apply some mental pressure on this. Like we apply mental pressure. It's just like it's not supposed to kill. It's just like we're conditioning the raider to be in danger. We're gonna try again and see how it goes. And like for example, so what we can do is we just put an opaque here. Okay, triggers. I'm coming back. Okay, that's a shitty throw. That's a really, really bad throw. See, we have been unlucky. It worked last time, but this time it didn't work well. Yeah. So there's something wrong that we will need to work on. So whenever you see that your build suddenly doesn't work anymore, what I suggest to you to do is just take the time to understand why the bombs doesn't work. Hello? Sir? Okay. You see that they're getting stuck here, and as you can see here, as I predicted, there is a bomb stuck here. This one is kind of tricky. And obviously, the more you're gonna split, the harder it's gonna be. And we lost a bomb here, which means we will have to make them go down even more. And here we lost some bombs, so this one is just gonna go here. And here why it's not working, because it's too tight. There you go. And then we gonna open like this. We can open like this. And don't be afraid, by the way, don't be afraid to open. Like, who's gonna see this? Nobody sees the opening here. If you're a speedrunner, you don't see the opening, so you just see that when you arrive, and you're just gonna have the bombs on your face. So do not hesitate to just leave it open. You don't need to hide this from the opponent. Who cares? Like, there's plenty of my splits, especially against speedrunners. Like, obviously, for the intromers, you need to hide. For a speedrunner, you don't need to hide. You don't care at all. You don't care at all. No need to hide. You just, like, open up, and you let the bomb do their work. Now this is open here. We will have bombs here. We're gonna have bombs here. And now it's here that we are struggling with the bombs. And my guess is this one that is problematic. But the thing is, what if we put this higher? Are we going to have bombs or not? And the only way to know is to try. Tu reviens sur mime aussi, Emiox? Okay. So this is working better, but it's not perfect yet. So what we have to do then is drive them better. There, like this. We close here. We close here, here, and we should be good at... T'es plus autant accro qu'avant? Okay, shitty throw, but That's a shitty throw, but we got something here, but we're losing bombs here, so that means that we'll need to improve this. We have a bomb here. We have a bomb here. We had a bomb here. Okay. Bomb here. Perfect. Bomb here. That could kill a speedrunner. And a bomb here. Perfect. This is what we wanted. Now, obviously, with this, we have a 50-50% chance. Remember? That's the thing about the peak. It just splits into two additional places. So here, for example, we might have to use a cursive cube, and here to hide the misery, we can have this. For example, when you are using this kind of tricks with the hollow cubes, be sure that you are building in the bedrock, like or part of your base in the bedrock. So it gives the impression that the raider is in a base that was built in the bedrock. So this won't look as suspicious, especially if the hollow cubes don't show in the number of traps when there is a raider checking with a. It's not Pozamogi. It's I don't remember. By the way, Gendred, if you're new, you might know this or not. Here it just shows you the number. When you select your trap, you can see the number of times you use the trap. When you're using hollows, keep the number of hollows you're using very low. When you see a lot of hollow cubes, you're just gonna be very careful. Hollow cubes are just here to trick the raider. We're gonna try again to see how if it's working or not. I would like this to work, but if it doesn't, I will show you another setup with a bomb ejector used with a horizontal throw. Ah, we're close. So that means that our setup is working now, but this is our path that is not right. And see, just by changing the path, the raider is losing time, which means that it will give more time for the bombs to reach this zone. And if the raider is just coming back here, it will arrive when the bombs arrive. Is it better to conceal the ejector for inch warmers or to use baits or pressure for large rooms to keep them around the kill spots? That's a good question, Onikoyat. So bombs can be used in different ways. It can be used just for pressure. It can be used for killing. The beautiful thing about bomb ejector is that bomb ejector can be used for everything. It could be used against any type of raiders. It can be used against. It can be used everywhere. It can be used for pressure. It can be used for kill. Um, it's really up to you. So, for example, when you have a room that is like open and you throw a bomb ejector that is just throwing bombs everywhere, what it does, it just lock the ground for the raider because he knows, like the raider knows that on the floor there is bombs. So if he's going to the floor, he's dead, which means that at this time you will have to get a bull shot or an executor, a ravager, or not an executor, an enforcer, or something to kill the raider at this moment. Um, but here, as you can see, my bomb ejector is splits to kill any type of raiders. And it's obviously tricky, but it's amazing when it's working. So it really depends on how you want your bomb ejector to be built. Like if you just build a massive room without all of this below the bomb ejector, you definitely can. It just your bomb ejector will have different um, purpose. And I would say when you have, like for example, a high ceiling like this, and you want a bomb ejector to lock down the floor, to not put any mods or maybe the eagle eye, because when you are using something to put pressure on or to lock someone, it's where you shouldn't put a lot of capacity, but you would put more capacity on your trap that is going to kill the raider. So this is very important to understand also what your trap should do in your base. Is it for pressure? Is it for killing? Is it for locking something somewhere? It's really up to you. You just need to strategize this in your base. So take your time. I would say like don't rush any base. The more you rush a base, the lesser you're gonna be satisfied about it, especially when you have built a massive part of your base, and then at the end, you are kind of like squeezed with the capacity left, and also that you want your map to be online. I would suggest whenever you're building, don't rush it. Leave your base, come back the next day or in a couple of days, and then see, like, run your map. You cannot forget your traps, so run your map, see how it goes. Okay, this trap is working, this one is not working. Why it's not working? Should I keep it? And then try out different things. It's very important that you take the time um to see the potential of your base whenever you're building. It's very, very important to see what's working, what's not working, and why it's not working. You have to go in depth to understand all the mechanics and how to strategize everything, optimize your setups. Because this is what I'm doing. Like, I'm optimizing my setup as much as I can. So, meaning that if I can have two traps that are killing each roamer, that's fine. And if it's working one or two times, that's fine. I don't need more. That means that if a setup kills one time, my next setup might be kill another time. The thing is not killing 15 times the same person in one room. I want the person to feel the progress in my base. So the raider will die, but he will know and he will go further in my base over and over and over and over. And he will keep trying because he feels the progress. He feels that this is fair. And again, this is my way to build. This is not um I'm not saying you should build this way, but this is my way to build. And if you want to go for the kills, go for the kills. I just like the community, like from my experience, they usually leave when there is a lot of things packed together. And when there are a lot of things packed together, or it's very weak for the cluster shot, to the grenade launcher, to the bombs. So meaning that maybe you're gonna lose 300, 400 of capacity with one grenade. And this is something that you don't want as a builder, because as a builder you have a limited amount of capacity, which means that every single cube counts, because if you are missing one capacity for a hunter mod or endless mod, your setup can be fucked. So it's super important to maximize your base, um and to maximize also your setup, and also let the raider feel the progress in your base, because I think you might have been there, like a lot of us has been there, I'm pretty sure. You're raiding a base and you die once, twice, three times, four times, etc., 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 and you're always dying in the same room. Like, let's imagine this is the first room or this is the last room, especially the last room. If the path is very long and you die the last room, you're like, come on, like I have to work another like 35 45 seconds, 1 minute before reaching the last room. This is not fun. This is fun one time, this is not after one time, because it means that, like, the fun in Meteor Maker is to have action. You can have some tense moment, like for example, give a 10 seconds uh, room, like 10 seconds of like a room there is nothing, so the raider can just breathe, and then you put pressure again, and this is where usually people gonna stay and they're gonna enjoy your map, because you give them some room to breathe, but at the same time you put pressure on them. You're like, okay buddy, if you fucked up, you're dead. And this is what I'm doing. It's like every single of my base, like, no, there's some base that are very toxic. I have to admit, like two or three base that are very toxic. But now I'm building in the way of like, I'm here to kill you, but you can always get out. However, if you fucked up, you are the one to blame. Some people won't have fun with the challenge I'm putting, but I always try to remain fair, but at my level. So, which will be different from someone that is starting. So you just have also to keep that in mind. So yeah, I don't remember what I was saying about the setup, but it's yeah, we were just changing the path. So when your bomb ejector setup is working properly and your path is too short, or like for example here it was too short or whatever, then change your path. Don't try to rework again and again and again your bomb ejector setup. If it's working, it's working. Now what you have to do is trying to modify your path, because it might be the easiest thing. It depends of your building. Again, this is why you have to build big, because the bigger it is, the more freedom you have to build around your setups, to have more room to modify things. So if everything it's just like compressed in one block, this might be difficult, because like this cube will be the cube, like the wall for another room. And like if I want to change this cube, well, I won't be able to, because I will have my next room here, so that breaks everything. So build big, build your setup, and build them big, and from there you just like shape your base around your setup. I really think this is the way to go. I've been doing both. Sometimes I will have an idea of my path, so I will design a bit of my path, then I will see what I can do with this path, like what kind of setup I can build on it. Or sometimes just gonna have an idea of a build, and then I'm be like, all right, so I have a setup, so how am I gonna shape the path on it? And for me, the decoration is the least thing. I'm trying to make it pretty outside, but I really suck at making something pretty from the outside. I'm just putting all the effort inside. It really depends how you want to go. Like if you are someone artistic, just go for something artistic, and like just prepare some setups in advance, and then build your artistic thing around it. For me, just like I want the inside of my base to be pretty, to be oppressive, so I'm putting a lot of mental pressure on the raider, and I love doing this because I had so many panic replays. Like for example, I'm using a launch pad just to throw someone in a room. I'm not trying to kill him in a corrosive cube, I'm just throwing the guy in the room. And it's so funny to see someone panicking because they were not expecting to be thrown in a room, like with the full force launch pad. And it's so funny, and it just makes me laugh, and I love this. For example, this bomb ejector is very effective against inchwormers and speedrunners. Why so? So first you have to know that I have the eagle eye and the chaos bombs. I'm telling you, eagle eye, most underrated mod, especially on the bomb ejector. So what's happening is like this bomb ejector will drop bombs all over this place, and as you can see, I have a lot of corrosive cubes with angles here, an angle here, and also here and there. Like obviously, there's plenty of angles. So why I'm doing all these angles is because I want the chaos bombs to bounce in random direction, making very hard for the speedrunners to go through the base, to go through the room without taking any danger. We saw for the speedrunner that bombs gonna bounce in the room. I will have some bombs that gonna go through the corrosive cube, right? So it means that if you come back here, you're gonna get killed by the bomb ejector, because bombs will go through the ceiling. And there's also some bombs that gonna reach this area. So here's an assassin. So here's bomb ejector, bomb ejector, bomb ejector. Defense depleted. Deleted. I don't know which one was it. So as you can see, with just one bomb ejector, I'm covering an entire area, which is very interesting because we've just, so 70 for the price of a bomb ejector, 20 and 20 on 110. 110 capacity to cover this area, this area, and the entire room. And this is why I was saying earlier in the stream, this is why it really depends what you want to do with your bomb ejector. Do you want it to kill? Do you want it to apply pressure? Do you want your bomb ejector to do both? Because this one is actually doing both. So it really depends the utility you want to do with your bomb ejector, and also how you're gonna drive your bombs to go where they need to go. And that's why the corrosive cube here are very important because some of the bombs just gonna go fall down this part, like fall down through the corrosive cube, and some of them gonna stay here, some of them gonna reach here, and it's really effective. It's really, 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 really effective.